Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this series on trusting yourself and developing your intuition and psychic abilities. So over the last few weeks, we've talked about why trust is the key element to developing your psychic abilities, your gifts, and obviously harnessing more your intuition. We also looked at awareness, feelings, with our emotions and with our physical body, but also our spiritual body, and also cognitive reframing. And today we are going to touch on micro action. So this is where we take everything we've gotten so far, and again, it's a reiterative process, so it's going to be ongoing, where you may repeat these steps, and we're going to actually start putting into practice some of these gifts. And I call it micro action because it's not something I expect you to do if you're just coming into your own psychic gifts and you're just starting to trust yourself and pay attention to how you're feeling in terms of your intuition and those intuitive nudges. I'm not saying, okay, I want you to do a psychic reading for someone and tell me what's going to happen and what you sense. No, not a huge action step. That may be a big one. But this is the part where you're going to start turning inwards to yourself, or toward yourself, I should say. So in this week, we're going to start looking for answers and for validation within ourselves and not towards others. So I'd like you to start answering your own questions. Whenever you have a question about anything and you want to go ask someone, because you'll get that huge compelling nudge. You're like, oh, I have to call someone, or I want to ask this person, or maybe I'll call my mom or my dad or my partner or whomever. Sit down for a minute, ground yourself, whether it's taking a walk, maybe doing yoga, your favorite way, whatever it is. Meditation's a great quick way, or just deep breathing through like your diaphragm. Imagine your belly when you breathe in as much as you can, and then breathe out, count of 3 or 4, I should say, and let your belly expand until it looks like, or it feels like a balloon. And do that several times to just calm your nervous system, calm your mind. And then any questions you have, maybe like, should I apply to that job? Or should I go out? Or whatever question you have, there's going to be so many. Ask yourself that question and see what comes up for you, how you're feeling. Some of you may feel discomfort. Some of you may feel a certain way in any of your energetic systems, probably in your belly area, the solar plexus, maybe your sacral chakra right below that in the pelvis area. Some of you may start getting images, thoughts, words. You may start feeling or sensing things, or just know the answer. Write that down. Document it, or at least acknowledge it if you don't want to write it down. When I say write it down, it's important because it allows you to look over time these patterns and to also gauge your own progress. And yeah, it's just a history for you. It's a collection for you and no one else. And see what comes up. What's the very first thing that happens? Because so many times we know, intuitively, we know the answers in terms of what we need to do. But we look outside of others to give us what we already know. And it almost sounds contradictory, right? We already know something. We already know that answer to that question, which may seem so elusive, but we ask others. And we wonder why. And again, it has to do with trusting ourselves. And so over time, this is going to help develop that. So the more you ask yourself these questions, whatever it is, should I wear this brick colored shirt? Should I wear a blue shirt today? Maybe you need to tap into your feelings. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling good. Okay, well, either shirt, whatever feels comfortable. And you'll keep asking yourself in different scenarios, whatever it is that you want. And you'll intuitively know, because ultimately, people that try to give you the answers, I'm not saying they're taking your agency away or your power. Many times people just want to help you, but it's not from coming from their own soul journey, right? And their own worldview. It's not yours. And everyone has their own path to follow. So you want to make sure that you make your own decisions coming from a place that comes from your own histories, your own beliefs. I'm not saying not to get opinions or not to get, input or advice, but go to yourself first. And this is something that may require practice for those of you that may not be used to it. I know it did for me because I was someone that always looked outside of myself. I'd be the first one to call up someone and be like, this is what's going on. What do you think I should do? Or anything like that. And that really created a disconnect within me because I learned to trust what others said and used to say versus myself. And I realized over time, wow, why do I feel so disconnected? Well, no wonder I wasn't paying attention to my intuition because I was listening to others. And the thing is, some people are also disconnected from themselves. So it's like a vicious cycle. You're not following your own internal guidance. You're following someone else's, which carries within that its own life suitcase, right? All of their own crap, all of their own shit, good or bad, whatever it is. And that frames their particular guidance or advice to you. And so just to notice during this coming week, things that come up when you want to reach for the phone, when you want to ask someone. Again, this isn't about times when you need space or when you need just advice and want someone to hear you out or whatever. It's not that. These are just simple decisions about you, things that you may want to do. And they could be simple things like, what do I want to eat today? Tap into yourself. Or you may have a probing question, what do I feel I am here on this earth to do? And you will start getting signs, especially if you ask your guides, and that's a whole another video. But you will start getting signs and sensations. And some people don't follow them, don't believe them, especially if it seems so different than what they're doing. Like I was a political scientist before, and I would get a lot of signs for the last, say, 10 years. The universe was giving me signs for a good 8 years before I made the swap. And I didn't pay attention. I was like, no. It was because of fear. And so finally, I just decided one day, I just listened. And I started getting just a lot of images, a lot of messages, and you get them through different things too. Not just within yourself. Some of you, again, it depends. If you're clairaudient, you may get it through songs. You may get it, messages through books. There's different ways that we receive this information. It could be through different elements like fire, water, smoke, sometimes candle work. Again, there are different ways people receive messages. So just be very patient, be very open. When you have anything that arises, any inquiries, get curious and just ask yourself and see what comes up and journal that. And I would recommend doing at least one of these types of self-reflective questions and working that process or working through that process with yourself every day. And don't ask anyone for input or until you get this information. Let me give you another example. A lot of times, especially if you've started your spiritual awakening or in the midst of it and have been through it, you may see a lot of things that start repeating themselves, right? Like synchronicities with numbers, maybe objects, coins, animals, feathers, hearing names again, same songs coming up, etc. That's actually a really great way to take action on this. You can ask yourself, what does this mean to me? I keep seeing 1111, or I keep seeing a rabbit, or I keep seeing this person's name all the time. What does it mean to me? And you can sit there. For me, meditation helps. I first meditate and call in my guides and ask them to help me receive any information from my highest good, to channel anything I need to know at this moment for my highest good. And then I usually ask a question, and then I start receiving information everywhere, images, sounds, and see what you receive. That's the key. And if you don't, if you're just really feeling really stressed out, take a breath and just gauge and notice how you're feeling, your physical body, how your mind is. Because sometimes that'll clue you into what you may be receiving or what you may be potentially blocking. Sometimes when we want to increase, I would say, or strengthen our psychic abilities so quickly, we get so caught up in that outcome, right? It's almost like manifestation. For those of you that are familiar with manifesting, law of attraction, if you hold on to that outcome so tightly, you choke that energy. And so there's going to be like a stagnation, like a pause of sorts, because there's no trust there. And so I'm just going to tell you straight up, maybe I need another video on patience, because this requires patience. It took me, I would say, a good year until I harnessed my own clairaudience skills. And I started linking things, and I'm like, I'm just not hearing the same song, you know, out of coincidence. There's a meaning behind that, because I'm pretty logical otherwise. And so make sure you have patience. When you keep practicing, you're going to get results. You're going to start getting information and receiving information. Some of you may receive information through dreams as well. So you may want to ask a question before you go to sleep. And if you want another video, let me know below, because that's separate. I'm not a good dreamer. It takes me a shitload to remember dreams, so I don't generally ask for guidance during my dreams. But there's many of you that do receive information and guidance through meditative states, trance-like states, and also through dream states. So it's important for you to also have maybe a journal, or to set that intention and ask those questions beforehand if that's the main modality, the main channel in which you receive information. And so I'm going to leave it at that. This week it's about taking action, and so simply asking yourselves those questions, the ones that you may ask other people, and those maybe existential life type questions that you want to dig deeper in, and just sit with it and see what comes up. Anything small, whatever you get, it's not stupid, it's not dumb, it's not weird, just document it, because it all has a meaning. I hope this video helped you all for this week. I am excited to continue delving through. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Comment down below. I forgot to say this all the time. If this is helping you, if this is giving you any nuggets of wisdom, I would love it if you could support me, like, share, subscribe, click the thumbs up button, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Thank you.